Grace, peace, and welcome to this announcement as we prepare for what it looks like for us at Ham United Methodist Church and Elba United Methodist Church to reopen for indoor, in-person activities. This is in light of the governor's announcement on Tuesday, Governor Ivey and the Alabama Department of Public Health and their guidelines, as well as consultation with lay leadership from both churches and also the director of the Emergency Management Agency of Coffee County. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands where we are and what we'll be doing and what things are going to look like, because in light of Tuesday, some things are going to look a little different. However, our desire is to be back as quickly and as safely as possible. The first thing you'll note is that the Alabama Department of Health has released a new color-coded risk management dial, for lack of a better word. And each county has been placed into a category from low risk all the way to very high risk. And if you go on their website, you will be able to see that Coffee County has been placed on the high risk phase. And this comes with some guidelines regarding in-person activities, travel out of state, eating, going outside, face coverings, and all of this. And so this is where we are here in Coffee County. Now, I will say that in talking with the Emergency Management Association, that while Coffee County's numbers are increasing at this time, that the city of Elba, our numbers are decreasing. And this is going to allow us, I believe, to come back sooner rather than later, despite the fact that we are in a high-risk phase for our county. So what does that mean with high-risk phase? Well, I just want to make sure that I highlight a few things. First is maintaining the 6 feet of distance. This is critical during this phase, not only when we come back, but just in our everyday life. So encourage you, when we do come back, to please do this in maintaining 6 feet in social distancing. This also has the recommendation of wearing face coverings and masks, especially in times when that 6 feet of difference is not able to be maintained. This also sets a standard of allowing gatherings no larger than 20 persons at a time. And this is the big thing that is changing after Tuesday, is following the Department of Health guidelines. We now have a recommendation of size of gatherings, whereas before Tuesday, there were no recommendations of size of gathering guidelines. Final thing, the recommendation says that online services are preferable, but when there is in-person worship, to please maintain the social distancing, face masks and things like that, face coverings and things of that nature. So what does that mean? Well, this Sunday, we are going to continue with our 10 a.m. virtual worship service, which you can find on our Facebook Live feed, and I encourage you to take part in that worship service. The bulletin for that service was mailed out in our weekly newsletter that we send out every Monday. If you are not on that mailing list, we invite you to please contact the church office, or you can go to our website, www.elbaumc.com/connect. And then starting this Sunday, a worship service that I'm very excited about is our 6 p.m. outdoor worship service. Because of outdoor and the fact that we are doing this in a different way, we don't have to worry about our number as much. And so what this service is going to look like is it's going to be so much better than our drive-in service. Firstly, I will not be playing guitar for the hymns. We have Pam Baker and Aaron who are going to be leading that singing, and you are invited to come and to sing and to participate in however you feel comfortable. There will be 3 ways to be a part of this outdoor worship experience. The first way is you can bring a lawn chair and you can sit closer to the fellowship hall. We ask that you do sit your chairs 6 feet apart from folks. If you want to wear a face mask, you're more than welcome to wear a face mask. And the worship service, we sent the bulletin out for that worship service, so you can pull it up on your smart device, or you can bring a hymnal with you. If you need a loaned hymnal, please contact the church office or use our website and simply let us know, and we'll make sure to provide one for you. We'll also have sanitized hymnals that you can take with you from that service if you require one. So you can be part of that service through sitting in a lawn chair safely and nearer the tent where we'll be set up. If that's outside of your comfort zone, but you would still like to be present, you're more than welcome to come and stay in your car and continue to worship like we have been at the drive-in service. We're just asking those participating in the drive-in service to please park closer to the sanctuary in our parking lot. So we'll have the tent, we'll have those sitting in lawn chairs, and then we'll have the cars who are going to be tuning their radios to 90.1, using a hymnal or using their smart devices to look up the bulletin for that service. There we'll provide all the lyrics and everything you need to worship with that experience. We'll also be live streaming the 6 p.m. service. So if you don't feel like you want to come out, be in a lawn chair, or be in your car, you're more than welcome to sit in the comfort of your own home and worship with us. Given that this Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, we'll be celebrating Holy Communion at the 6 p.m. service, and we're inviting everyone to bring their own communion elements so that they can partake in this holy mystery. So that's what this Sunday looks like. Next Sunday is going to be the commencing of our indoor in-person activities. The first thing, though, that we're going to have is Wednesday night Bible study. That is going to be Wednesday, July the 8th at 6 p.m. This will be our first in-person activity, and we invite you to come and be a part of that. Of course, you can join through Zoom as well. Given that 20-person guidance that the state has given us, we're inviting people to please contact the church office and to make a reservation if you plan to be in person for this event. Of course, anyone can attend through Zoom, but if you would like to come and be indoor, in person, we're inviting you to please make a reservation with the church office. And I'll provide that telephone number in just a moment if you don't already know it. That also means that that on Sunday, July the 12th, we will be having our first indoor in-person worship services at both Ham and Elba United Methodist Church. Ham's will be at 8:45 and Elba's will be at 10 o'clock. Given that 20-person guidance, we are inviting you to also make reservations for this service. And so we invite you to call the church office and provide your name and the number of people that you would like to make a reservation for. We know that there's a strong desire to get back, and we encourage you to please be respectful of this as we try to live within the guidance that the state has provided us during the season. Our hope is that as we shift from being in a high-risk county to a more moderate-risk county, our number of gathering sizes will increase and we will do away with this. But for the meantime, in preparation of Wednesday, July 8th and Sunday, July 12th, we will be using this reservation model. The good news is that there are no reservations needed for our outdoor evening worship service at 6 p.m. So you don't have to worry about that. Just these 3 events: Wednesday evening Bible study, Sunday morning worship at Ham, and Sunday morning worship at Elba. And so that is how we're going to be doing this in this short period of time. And so I invite you to call the church office, open Mondays through Thursdays, 8 a.m. to noon. And the telephone number for the church office is 334-897-2219. So please call, tell Tabitha your reservation, and we'll make sure that we come back together and come back safely for Wednesday night Bible study on the 8th and worship starting on the 12th. When you come to worship and when you come to Bible study, just a reminder, based off the recommendations of the Alabama Department of Public Health, to please sit in designated areas. You'll notice that some pews have little signs that say, please do not sit here. Now I know, if I go back to my home church, my family always has sat on the 5th pew at a certain place, and I completely understand that. And that might mean that when you come to worship, that your traditional seat might not be available this time. And I completely understand that. However, we want to make sure that we are providing the safest environment. So we're inviting people to please sit in places that are designated these places will rotate and change week to week. So maybe you weren't able to sit where you wanted to this time, but you will definitely be able to in the future. We ask for your patience during this time as well, with sitting in designated areas. The next thing is we are strongly recommending for in-person indoor activities for face coverings. We're strongly recommending these. I will be preaching with a mask on. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's a sign of courtesy and a sign that let people know who do want to come and be in person and indoors that we are taking safety to its highest standard. So masks will be strongly recommended. We will have masks if you happen to forget yours and are coming to an event. We will have masks that we can hand out to you. Also, for in-person indoor activities, there will not be communal singing at this time. Now, I'm a United Methodist, and that is going to be difficult. Of course, you clap your hands, you can hum along, you can take part in singing in the congregational hymns in a new and different way. But I'm going to be looking forward to the fact that our 6 p.m. outdoor service has no lack of singing. You are more than welcome to come and sing to your heart's desire and be a part of that service as well. Of course, if you're watching the service virtually at home, any of our services, you can sing as loudly as you want, but for the time being, strongly recommending masks and no communal singing. There will be music we provided by soloists and instruments, and the people who are singing, because of your safety and our desire to provide a safe and secure environment, they will be wearing masks as well. And so the final thing is, of course, as the guidelines stated, that we will have no more than 20 persons for our indoor in-person activities. For our outdoor activities, there's no limit, but for our indoor in-person activities, for the time being, we're going to stay with the guidelines as provided by the Alabama Department of Public Health and Governor Kay Ivey. And of course, all of our events will be continued to be live streamed so that nobody is ever missing out on anything. There's not going to be a worship service that's taking place that's not live streamed. So morning worship will be live streamed, and of course our outdoor evening worship, even though there's no limits, that will continue to be live streamed as well. So just a quick reminder, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. You will need reservations for 8:45 worship at Ham UMC, for 10 a.m. worship at Elba UMC, and for Wednesday night Bible study at 6 p.m. on Wednesday night evenings. You will not need a reservation for anything that's virtual. You will not need a reservation for any outdoor in-person activities. That's including our 6 p.m. outdoor evening worship service. Thank you so much for taking part in this time. I know that this is not how we desire to be coming back. However, we want to make sure that we are in compliance and we're doing everything as safely and prudently as possible. I thank you for your patience, and I thank you for your grace, because I can't wait to be back into in-person activities, and I can't wait until we can get rid of all of these restrictions and everything that's going on. But in the meantime, let us remember that we're our brothers and our sisters' keepers. Let us make sure that we're doing common sense practices, wearing face coverings when we're in public, 6 feet of social distancing, and washing our hands. Those small actions can help reduce the spread of this virus and allow us to get back more quickly and to allow us to get back without all of these restrictions in the future. I thank you for your patience. I can't wait to see your faces, and I look forward to seeing you in person for July 8th's Bible study and in person for July 12th's worship services. Let us pray together. God, we know that you are with us even during this time. Help us as we make decisions with to the best of our abilities, with the wisdom and knowledge that has been placed before us. Help us to be patient when things are not going the way that we might want them to go. But we know that we are doing the things that we are called to do to make sure to look out for one another, see every life as precious, and to see that no one is expendable. We We ask that you be with our church, be with our community, help us to continue in the city of Elba to see a decline of cases. Help us to start to see a decline in cases in our county, in our state, in our nation, and in our world. And we look forward to the day with great hope and expectation. But this is something that was just a part of our history and not something that we are currently living through. In your name we pray. Amen. Go in peace to serve the Lord. Amen.